Today we're going to do something that's really intricate and filigree, almost with a Wedgwood look to it. And to show you the products that we'll be using, we have the Just Right Celebrations Label 1. This will be our stamps. We have the Spellbinders bracket borders. They're gorgeous. You'll see them. They're lovely. And the sentiment comes from the Just Right Floral Thank You set. Now let's set these aside and we'll get started. The first thing we're going to do is a bit of stamping. Now I've already started and I've worked my way across with a little bit of the die cut, so we'll do the other side so you can see it's going to mirror. I've used the celebration label here, or excuse me, the border, and I'm going to stamp it in the jet black archival ink. Just tap it on, get a nice coverage. And whenever I use clear stamps, I like to put a little piece of U-mount under there for just to give it a little more cushion. So I'm going to line it up so they are almost touching it. And I apologize that I'm going to have to lean over a little bit, so it might obscure your view for just a second. There we go. Give it a good push across. Gorgeous. Okay, so now we're going to work the other direction. So I'm going to change my stamps here. I'll peel this one off the block, and then I would clean that before I put it away. And the other thing I like to do with the clear stamps is, I'll show you, I like with the borders to push them up against a ruler so I know I've got them straight, and then just adhere them to my block like that. So I know I haven't moved it around a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to use the other border in the set. Same thing, we're going to do some stamping here and just line it up. I'm still using the black archival. Give it a good inking. And it'll just kind of mirror up right here. Give it a good push all the way across. Ah, lovely. And one more time, but we're going to go the opposite way this time. Okay. So I'm going to try and line these straight lines up on the back of the stamp. You can take more time when you do yours, obviously. There we go. Ah. Now, I did stamp that a little light, so I might want to go over that with a pencil. And you can show how you can absolutely fill in some of these lighter lines if you don't do a good enough job with your stamp, so your whole piece hasn't been ruined. But just for the demonstration purposes, we'll leave it like that today. So I'm going to go ahead and do my die cutting next. Move that out of the way. I'm using the bracket border here, and what I'm going to do is line this piece up and tape it into place with the edge of that using my removable tape. And I want the cutting edge because that's just a decorative insert. So I'm just going to pop that so it just meets right in there and marries up. Okay, let me get my cutting plate and I'll show you my sandwich. I'm going to have the dies face down into the cutting plate. And I tell you what, I think it's a little bit easier to cut them this direction. So I'm going to pop it through the machine like this. Let's see if we've got it to cut all the way through. Ah, looks beautiful. So I'm going to take this apart. And I've got two pieces here, so we're going to just pop off the edge. Put that one back. Take this out of the way. So you can see I've got a gorgeous cut edge that matches my stamped border. So now what I want to do is I want to mat that. And to show you a really easy way to do this, I've got a white mat here I'm going to use, and I've already cut one of the sides. So to decide where I want the other one, this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it onto my piece so it's exactly where I want it, set it down, get the die that I want to use, and we are going to be using one of the other inserts. I'm going to layer it up right like that, so I know it's going to be just outside of that line. Move that away and tape it into place. There we go. And we're going to run this one through the grand caliper. So you can easily see where your borders need to go if you want them to show underneath each and every layer. Oop, there we go. Take the die out of there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and tape this together. I'm going to use some double-sided tape. Matching our edges up. There, we've got a nice, neat edge on both sides now. I'm going to wrap a little bit of ribbon around it because I want the back of that to be hidden. So let's just use a piece of regular side, single-sided tape. I'm going to wrap it around the top in the very center. Wrap it around the bottom, and let's just make sure we're straight. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Like that. And I know you've seen me do this little trick before. I like to have that little pinched look, like I've taken and wrapped the entire piece of ribbon around and tied it. So at the bottom here, I'm going to add in a little glue dot and just pinch that ribbon. Let's just do one more. Get it nice and pinched. And we'll add a bow on at the end. And so that'll actually expose a little bit more of our stamping too, so it'll be nice. Now, the last thing we're going to do here is I'm going to emboss the borders rather than cut them. Now, I've already done one side. Same exact method. We're going to line it up and see exactly where it needs to be. And we are going to go back to this same edge piece. We're going to pop it into place. That looks good. And tape it with the removable tape. This time we're not cutting though, we're just going to emboss. So we need our base plate and our tan mat and our embossing plate. Now what I do with this is, since I've already got one embossed, I lay that with the cutting ridge down on the tan mat and the pink plate. I put my border over it, and I'm only going to just put it through the grand caliper just so I can feel it click through and then click back. So I know I've just embossed that little piece. We'll take that out, gently undo our tape. So you can see I've got a gorgeous embossed edge. It hasn't cut through, it's just simply embossed it. And now it'll line up and match perfectly with our original piece that we stamped and cut. So I'll use a little bit of tape here. We'll do all four sides and make sure it's nice and secure. Oop, there we go. And put that right onto that point. A little bit of a border all the way around. And I've already set up a backing piece with some mounting foam. So we're going to go ahead and peel our pieces off here. We'll put this on here and then we'll show you the final embellishment. There, so now I've got the base of my card done. I've gone ahead and tied a double bow out of the white silky crush. And one of the things I love to do is to put different embellishments in the center of my bows. I think that's just a nice little touch to add to your cards. I thought a perfect one for this was the cameo, and this is the smaller cameo that we carry. I've got a couple of pearl stick pins in there too. I do love my stick pins. And we're going to just add that where we put the little pinched area on our original strip down at the bottom. And then you can just fluff up the bow a little bit and get that ready. And final little touch, I've stamped the sentiment from the Floral Thank You from Just Right. It's a beautiful font on this. I absolutely love it. And it just says hello. Simple. And I've got some Stormy Sky Distress ink, a piece of cut and dry, and I'm just going to go around the edge and give it a little bit of ink to kind of highlight it. Just draws your eye in a little bit more to your sentiment. We'll even give it a little bit of an edge to it. There we go. And I'm going to add that with a glue dot. And I like to just tuck them right under the embellishment on my bows. Nice little finish for our card. So there you have it, a gorgeous, easy to do card with some beautiful dies, beautiful stamps from Just Right, and lovely, and for any occasion that you like. And there you have it, detailed filigree cameo. I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration.